Well, we're back with another riveting episode of Axiom Radio. As you can see, I'm going to try and be loading up Minecraft on the Switch. You know how horribly that turns out every single time. But that's besides the point. I'm joined again today by my son, Kebab. Oh, sounds like Kebab's having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Am I cutting out?
You were, but now you're not.
All right. Well, that's good that I'm not.
That's Demolto. Today we've got a lot on our plate. You know, I think it's time to spill a lot of savory tea that's been gathering up. But I think the first thing we need to talk about is stuff that the council has been talking very closely on, and that being getting rid of a few communities in the Axiom realm, I guess you could say. The communities we're trying to focus more on would probably be the Naruto and the Full Metal community, mostly because the Full Metal community has a leader that just isn't existent right now, unfortunately. Corinne gave up her position not too long ago, and while it was for completely valid reasons, we still need somebody to govern over that community, at least be a part of the council, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a very big turn of events that, you know, have hindered us, and it'll continue to hinder us until we figure something out. The thing about the council is, well, naturally, the council was made by a group of friends, us, on the Axiom Council. Anthony, myself, Braxton, Corinne, Tommy, Caleb, Corey, Anthony. Did I say Anthony already?
I think you did.
Okay. Anthony, Jacob, and Joseph. You know, we are the Axiom Council.
Mm-hmm.
And we've tried our best to at least give an experience well off on what we need for the communities. But with Corinne being out of commission, we need somebody to fill her position. So the requirements for the council would, obviously have to be, you have to have Discord, have a way to communicate with us through voice chat, because while, yes, texting is a decent enough way to talk, it gets very what's the word I'm looking for? It becomes a hindrance after a while. Whereas voice chats, you can be there in the now and be able to communicate directly with the people, you know.
Yeah.
I suggested this, and I know the rest of my team agrees. You got to be 17 and up, because at least 17 is close enough to being an adult, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, I think Braxton is like 17. He's 16 or 17. I've been knowing Braxton for a very long time. We've been friends for quite some time now. But as far as the rest of the requirements, you know, just be able to be active. Help us out with the communities and stuff if you can. You know.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
We don't ask for much. We just ask for participation.
Participation and a sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot of jokes that come by. Yare, daze. We try to be as close as possible when it comes to the Axiom communities as a whole. Give me 1 second. Oh no. Hold up. Thank the Lord God Almighty. I was getting really worried there for a second, but
What?
I wouldn't be able to sign into my Microsoft account.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that'd have been scary. Anyway, continuing on with the episode, getting our little pity party out of the way, I would like to say that what we've got next in the Seirei is stupid. Ungodly stupid. Now, one of the members of our staff, I'm not going to be naming who they are, came to me one day with an idea. Hey, he says, hey, why don't we get this other community to try and join us? You know, we used to be enemies for the longest time, and I can play it off like I still hate you. Granted, I'm not completely convinced that he doesn't hate me anymore. You know. Though he's on my staff for the Bleach community, that doesn't mean he doesn't hate me. You know. Naturally, I'm not saying any names, but I am saying that he does a very good job. You know.
Oh, yeah.
And I talk about this person a lot in the meetings of the council room. I give him a lot of praise because he's been doing wonders for the community, you know. But anyway, he came up to me and suggested, why don't we get this person to try and become a part of our community to help boost activity with the promise of me overthrowing you. I said, yeah, that sounds amazing. Sure. More specifically, he said, holy fuck, I just got a brilliant idea. And I said, yeah. And he goes, what if
I never got to hear that part of the conversation.
Granted, I think this is the first time I actually go back and read the conversation too. But the person in question that he's referring to, her name is Rebel. Now, for those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for a long time, you know that I've actually had Rebel on Seirei Talk before, where we called her out for a lot of the corrupted things that she was doing in her community. Now, this person, my staff member, knows all about this. He's been subscribed to me for a long time, even when he hated me. Mostly, from what I can assume, so that he could just bait me into arguments and stuff, which worked the majority of the time. I'm not going to lie. As far as, why is Minecraft taking so long to load? That's what you sound like.
I know.
Anyway, so I called Rebel out not too long, or a long ass time ago, on my YouTube channel back when Mitch was in a part of the council, and Mitch was actually one of her closest members, but Mitch always worked for me, mostly because he saw the toxicity coming off of Rebel like a motherfucker. She is very manipulative. She is very I don't want to say passive, but she's very up her own ass.
Oh yeah.
This coming from someone who is also up their own ass. I can recognize this type of behavior from a mile away. More like from 1,000 miles away. Because she tried to be manipulative when I brought her onto the community. It was something that I didn't enjoy, and I know she didn't enjoy it. Mostly because she tried to... I say this to everybody just to try and spread awareness about how, like, actual batshit crazy she is. She tried to impersonate a cop to intimidate people online into following her. And this is in the episode that she was on.
Yeah.
Like, I flat out asked her, "Are you a police officer? I know I've heard stories about you being one." And she goes, "Yes, I am." No, she's not. More insider information actually showed that she was not. One of her exes actually came to us and talked about her and how much she tried to manipulate all of them. Once her community was taken down, or actually stopped, she decided, and all of her people left, she decided to go back and create another community. Now, once the community that was shut down, we actually found out that all of her members had created their own communities to get away from her specifically. Which, personally speaking, I would have liked it if they'd have just come over to Axiom, you know, because we all have a mutual hate for Rebel. But, you know, I do think it was a very good idea for them to start their own community to help get away from her. You know, that's a very responsible thing to do, and you wouldn't have to deal with her for at least a very long time. I do think that they could have done a little better, you know, if they were going to make it a big community. I don't think they were planning on making it a big community, though. But that's besides the point. A couple months passed, and Rebel decided to make her own community again. This community is called Bleach Dojo. And all of the people that she betrayed, all of the people that knew how corrupt she was, turned right back to her. They literally went back to her because of how much of a soothsayer she is. If that's not messed up, I don't know what is. You know? And they're all really good people, too. Maybe not all of them, but from the ones that I've met, those were really good people. And I wish I could find some way to express how wrong this is. You know? How manipulative this is, and going back to her is just not only fueling some form of her ego, but like really sets into stone how controlling she can be over a group of people, you know? To put it lightly, this bitch is evil, man. God damn. I don't understand. I don't understand. I really don't understand how someone can be this controlling. You know? Like, this seems like a horrible thing. And, you know, I know a lot of people don't listen to the podcast or listen to what I say in the podcast, you know, and it seems...
Well, they should.
It seems like Caleb's kind of just here in the background chilling and giggling at my nonsensical rants. But I'm very serious. Like, she is a massive problem that needs to be dealt with. Obviously, Team Amino isn't going to do anything. But as far as everyone else is concerned, like, people have the power. We have the power to set someone like her down a few notches. Obviously, she deserves to be set down a few notches. Anyway, my rants aside, because this video isn't just me ranting, I promise. It's actually me talking about the interactions that she's been trying to do in the community. And boy, are there interactions. I hate... In case y'all couldn't tell, all of my hate, just all of it. All of it goes out to this she-devil of a woman. And I have friends on the community that don't like it when I talk about her. Trust me, I don't like it when I talk about her either, okay? You can ask Caleb. She's not my favorite subject. She gets my blood boiling in every sense of the word, and I can't help but feel like I'm having a freaking aneurysm every time I talk about her.
Oh yeah.
It's
right rolled.
What? What, Caleb?
Here, I'm gonna leave the call and join right back because it seems like I'm not doing so well with connection.
Try and are you on your computer?
Is this better?
Yeah.
What I had said was this right here, this is far controlled. There have been times where we've been listening to him rant and it's off the wall.
Yeah. Like, I rant about a lot of things. I really do. I scream, I yell. My family knows it. I know it. I get it from my family, you know. We're very in tune to everyone's emotions in this household, I guess you could say. And the one thing that I don't like doing is being unprofessional on my YouTube channel. And Caleb knows that, I want to say better than anybody. Because there have been times where we're in call and I just go off. But anyway, Rebel is the type of person to just make up her own shit and say it's creative and then say, oh, I found loopholes, and not understand how loopholes actually work. And it's the truth. The whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. She left our community once again after our guy on the inside tried to... Which is what? What?
Of course, after you said she left again.
Yeah, she had already left one time. And it was because, naturally, we wouldn't let her have her way. One thing that I'm notorious for is being an asshole. And everybody knows that. Everybody can kind of respect that, because the way I'm an asshole is I try to be a fair asshole. You know? To the point where if things don't add up, I'm usually the one to either calm the situation down or be a non-biased judge to the situation. And I do try my best with it. I do. As far as I know, I do a fairly good job. But with Rebel, it's just she can manipulate her way around everyone and everything except me. And it pisses her off. And she knows she can't get it past me. Mostly because I hate people who try to control and manipulate others like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like she's done in the past. But the biggest thing is when she tried to make a visored character. Now, anybody who knows me, everybody who knows me, knows that I hate visoreds with a passione. Ooh, woo! Just like I'm straight Bruno Bucciarati up in this bitch, because it's a passione. You can call me Diavolo, because it's That's all it is. In Caleb's words, it's not very di molto, but that's besides the point. So what I'm going to be talking about in this episode of I'm sorry, Axiom Radio. I'm so used to talking on Seirete Talk, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything Bleach related. I am your host. I will be talking about Rebel's thoughts of how visors are made. Okay? And it's not very good. So, while I'm getting the chat ready, Caleb, you can take over and talk for a bit. I don't know what you'll talk about, but just talk.
Well, if you haven't or aren't a part of the Axiom, part of the communities, what are
so
you even
stupid.
doing with your life?
You're so stupid.
Just download a Meet app. It's a community-based app. It's fairly easy to use. It's kind of... It's not easily comparable to some other social media site because it's very different, kind of its own. But the Axiom set of community people well versed in Amino join Bleach Axiom. But then you can join the other ones, like Full Metal Axiom, Pokemon, Naruto Axiom, because we need people that are genuinely interested in.
Yeah.
I mean, inexperienced people.
We definitely do need people there.
It's we have jokes, we have fun. I'm a bit here, so I think you can easily tell that we're having fun over here. Come on down. It's maybe our respect, but there's nothing to lose.
The Doug Dimmadome Dimsdale Dimmadome. There you go. That's literally all it sounded like you were trying to say.
Was I cutting out? Or...
Yes, the whole time. Whoo, that was close.
I don't know if it's me because
what?
Going just fine, and then you're like, I'm turning on stream. Started to cut out for me.
Yeah, Streamlabs does, especially when I record gameplay. It really messes up hard sometimes. But I know it's recording me perfectly fine because I can see the audio stuff.
Right.
But the chat's ready. Woo. Caleb, you should also get on the world.
Woo!
I don't want this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to relive this. Essentially speaking, she tried to get a visor kit. She not only her character be a visored, but all of her friends' characters too. And Wyatt and I joked that we would actually be we would actually give his character Plagius a Hogyoku to turn all of her friends into visoreds and not her. Does that make us bad people? Maybe. Does it make for a fun story? I mean, I think that goes without question. What? I had 9 maps. What the heck? Hold on. Okay. So she first messages me in the group chat, or the OOC chat. That's where she first messages me. All right. And already, I think she was trying to be indiscreet with, who she was trying to be. Everybody knew she was Rebel, but nobody wanted to say anything. Nobody really wanted to interact with her, which led to her interacting with herself and her little group of cronies right off the bat. But she messaged me. She first added me and said, "Hey, I've got some OC questions. Can you help me out?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe she'll actually listen for once in her life." And I joined the chat that she started, the DM with her and I, begrudgingly, of course. And I said yes, and she goes, "Yes!" Really loud, all caps. Oh no, there's a creeper. Idiot. And she goes, yes. I said, yeah, what's your question? She goes, okay, sorry. I thought it was an OC helper, but it wasn't. Okay, my question, I didn't know what she meant. I was like, what the fuck? An OC, what about the OC helpers? I said, there's only a handful of helpers. And she goes, with my Otherworld OC, she made a gamble with her hollow, which I haven't elaborated on due to the fact that it's a like roleplay story based OC. But I'm going to fix that. Anyways, the gamble she made with her hollow cause, comma, the hollow is a gambler and likes to gamble fates and shit. This, I think I went on a rant last episode about grammar and stuff, didn't I?
There's a possibility that you did. I don't.
Yeah, with old boys
remember.
OC. What's his name? The dude that tried to do that one thing. I don't know. Y'all can go back in the episode and watch it. It was an hour long. I don't know. Okay. Speaking of which, this episode might be a lot longer because we missed 2 weeks, and I just want to really set in stone how much I hate this person. Ooh, excuse me. Anyways, comma, the stakes to a game they gambled on when she first gained control over her was actually a deal they made together. The deal was she can basically take over Echo if ever Echo had to summon her hollow form, which doesn't work at all. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Caleb, I know I posted this shit in the council room. It might be a ways up, but can you please scroll and help me read this? Or at least talk about this. She goes, also, like her hollow being linked to her Bankai, I can totally change burnt, comma. The golden eye color, hollow eyes, is all kind of a part of her story. I said, all right, give me a sec, because I was reading. Then she went on to more. I said, okay. After I was done reading, I just said, all right, key points. Do you even know how a Vizard is made? Like actually made? And she goes, yes, I do. The lore-based version. When a hollow with similar makeup of an Asauchi merges with the Zanpakuto, and all good shit. I know, LMAO. That is not how it's made. Not at all. Like, not even a smidge hair tit. Like, that's not it. I don't know who told her this information, but whoever did needs to be crucified because that's not how it works. It's stupidity. She goes, enters the soul and merge with the Zanpakuto. Don't know why I left out that part, LMAO. I know how to make a Vizard based off of lore. The calm echo comes from, though allows for more leniency, that's all. I'll rewrite it, though. Adjusting it isn't an issue. I totally don't mind, LMAO. However, comma, can she keep the gambling games and darkness since even her games revolve around darkness? I said, that's not how they're made. She goes, they're the result of when a hollow with similar makeup to an Asauchi enters the soul and merges with the Zanpakuto. If we're going off of the most common aspects, people will look at and base it off of what most would assume due to Google and its failures. It sounds like she went to Google and its failures. Unless you mean like how they start, question mark? Unless you mean comma like how, or unless you mean like comma how they start. Not ooh aggravation. Ooh. In which case, they start as Shinigami who obtain hollow powers, and etc. Sorry, that kind of took freaking long, LMAO. Kid wants me to fight, oof. However, Aizen did with his sexy science, so I said I was done at that point. She posted some emoji, and I just... Might have lost my temper a little bit. 2017 me might have come out.
Let him off the leash.
I said, the only way a hollow can be created is through the Hogyoku. What happens through the will of the Hogyoku, he gives an unknown infection to the subject in hand, causing a form of hollification. Second question, do you know why visors aren't possible? She goes, yeah, an airborne virus. I said, that's the lore version. Asauchis are created through melding souls, which they are. It's the same way a Menos class and upwards is made, which is why, theoretically speaking, an Arankar Zanpakuto would be the same thing as a Shinigami Zanpakuto or a Soul Reaper Zanpakuto.
Right.
She goes, yeah, that thing, I just called it an airborne virus because it's basically what it is without technicalities. I said, there's nothing about melding souls to create a visor. Where'd you hear that information? She goes, but I was thinking about the results / makeup type shit. To be honest, I got slightly confused with what we were going to talk about with that because there's the makeup, which I see as a loophole for creation. Then there's Aizen's way. That's when she starts with the loopholes. Aggravation. Caleb, you want to read a little bit?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure people are tired of staring at this little screen.
Yeah.
Okay. I hate her so much. I hate her so freaking much, dude. Like,
it's okay. It's okay.
I have to get it out a little bit. If people are laughing at this, I completely understand. I really do. It's funny to see me angry. I get that. Just know that I will find you, and I will kill you. Go on. Usopp. God Usopp. Caleb, are you there?
Huh? Oh, yes.
Okay. You may continue where I left off.
All right, let's see.
Oh, right. Is that a witch? No, that's pillagers.
All right. So after that, it's similar makeup of what I'm not in. So I don't think I elaborate on that. So I can make it based off lore and such to fit the standards here. Not an issue. I respect that, which is an odd way to talk about using a loophole, which isn't even possible.
She says it's a loophole due to creativity, which isn't a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that. I really don't.
It's the makeup. Like, you're talking about building souls and then using a term for it. And the way she goes about, because she explains it, but to point B without the entire length.
You're cutting in and out again,
Caleb.
Caleb.
That you know what she's talking about.
You're cutting in and out like hardcore. Oh, this episode, I do apologize to anybody watching this episode. It's a total mess. It's just this, I feel like we need to talk about this. Yeah. We need...
This is the same setup that we've been doing.
Yeah, we just, I feel like we need to talk about this. Her cancer, how horrible of a person she is. Now, I'm not saying that I'm perfect in any way, shape, or form. However, I do want to say that I don't approve of anything this dumbass says. I mean, you can already tell how much I hate her just by how many names I'm calling her. Very unprofessional of me, but I can't. I've dealt with her for the past possibly 2.5 years now, and I'm done. DONE. I'm DUN. Inikikwe. Continue. Caleb.
Also, just to be clear, or sorry, I skipped a couple things. You said you gotta let your phone charge.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
She goes, dang it. Oof. Aight. Some of these get really long. That's why I want to try and get Caleb to talk about them with me.
Oh,
Just because well, you're going to do a better job with them than I do. Yeah,
fair.
I'm just freaking
Also, just
aggravated.
to be clear on a couple things, after mean it as it was Azuchi hollow, just a hollow with the similar makeup of one, entering the soul, merging with the Zanpakuto. Now, that's not how they work.
Yeah.
As a sword, it is. That is a sword.
The Asauchi is a sword that has been made up of the melding together of random souls. That's how an Asauchi is made. I see Caleb's just having mad technical difficulties. We gotta do this on like Skype or something, because Lord have mercy, this is horrible.
Here, let me switch. Oh well, I'd close the chat, and I'm already all the way up with the screenshots.
Are you on your phone?
No, I'm calling on my tablet, reading on my phone.
Oh. Very interesting. Woo. God, I'm gonna miss these trenches.
The point is, the Azayuchi doesn't win.
Yeah? It doesn't what, Caleb? Who?
Yes.
What? You're cutting in and out. This is why I wish we could record this type of stuff in person.
Yeah. Darn me for not being able to take a vacation.
Oh my god. Not just take a vacation. Take a vacation specifically to Louisiana.
Well, yeah.
Heck, Louisiana, man. I hate it here so much.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We're going to Dallas, hopefully in the summer.
This May.
What? I really don't know if it's on my end or yours, but like just the absolute cutting in and out of stuff.
My voice activity is running just fine.
Let me check mine.
But for some reason, it's not coming through perfectly.
Oh. You just left and came back.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm watching the call. I didn't jump out at all. I was talking.
That's crazy, Meg.
It's crazy, guys. Please follow our Patreons. We need more money.
Oh yeah, totally. We don't have patrons, by the way. Or at least, I mean, I do, but I don't do anything on it. I would like to be making enough.
I've been almost convinced to make one.
For why?
New art.
Oh.
To new art.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Yare, daze. I don't want to deal with this type of horrid activity, you know? 'Cause
yeah.
It seems like you're doing better now, so please, let's just go over what you tried to say not too long ago.
All right. I was trying to say that...
Okay, never mind. Okay. Well, I mean, it was working, sort of. How close are you to your Wi-Fi?
Oh, what?
How close are you to your Wi-Fi?
I mean, it's not close, but I do know that I have a strong connection. Like, I'm in the same
You're
spots that I
perfect
would have
right
calls.
now. So let's try
Maybe
one more time.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Sound better now.
Okay. So what I was trying to ask, or I was going on a tangent, and I just wanted to ask,
Mhm.
Azeuchi, or is that in the Ryoryoku?
No. The Asauchi steals the Ryoryoku of the Soul Reaper,
Mm-hmm.
so that it's able to gain a form to match or to be the Zanpakuto. But I wouldn't say the Asauchi is a part of the Ryoryoku.
Okay. So what I was just saying, or what I was like going off on, because sometimes when I rant, because I'm not the smartest banana, I am a learning man. So my rant was off of like the Azeuchi. Yes, it takes from the Riryoku, but at the same time, it doesn't. You can't introduce another Azeuchi and it just hops on in.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how they work.
Yeah, no. That's like somebody trying to have two different Zanpakuto that have completely separate abilities
Mm-hmm.
and completely separate names. It's like that's not how that works. You get one Zanpakuto and that's it. You know. I'm so sorry, but you're stupid. She later goes on to say something along the lines of, also, just to be clear on a couple things, after rereading this message and such, I didn't mean it was Asauchi merging with, what the fuck is on my, merging with the Hollow, just the Hollow with similar makeup of one entering the soul, merging with the Zanpakuto, which is also completely incorrect. Like, how would you have a Hollow with similar makeup to your Zanpakuto? That would literally mean that the Hollow would have some form of Soul Reaper Ryatsu to it, or soul-like abilities. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I understand an Asauchi might be the makeup of multiple souls, but the Zanpakuto is not. You know, the Zanpakuto, once it is created into a Zanpakuto, it becomes a singular being.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where she's being misguided in her information. And her information is very misguided. Like, I'm ooh woo mad. You don't mess with the woos, just the owos. Angry face owo. Rar XD owo. Why are there Why is there a horse in the nether? I'm getting sick and tired of all of you. This whole episode is me just angry. It's angry boy hours. I can tell you that right now. She said the result of which can also be seen as a loophole of sorts. No, it can't. That's not exactly how loopholes work. Actually, that's not how loopholes work at all. You know, like that's kind of a biggie dealy roo. However, yes, if you're talking about the general overall creation that was the Hogyoku bullshit, lol, it's not bullshit. I mean, it is bullshit, but compared to the stuff that you're saying, the Hogyoku stuff makes sense. That's what I don't get. Like, she's trying to... It's almost like she's trying to trip up the argument or the conclusion by saying, oh, I know you're right, but there's also my way.
Which is not right, but I
Which,
want it to be right.
yeah, like, how does that work? Like, what are you trying to accomplish by saying I'm right, but then still trying to go off on some stupid tangent, you know? By all means, I know I want this to be in her community. I want this episode to be posted in her community. You know, like, I feel as though it needs to be. So if her little peoples are watching, the little manipulatees, I guess you could call them.
Doo-doo heads?
The big poopy doo-doo heads. No, they're not big poopy doo-doo heads. She is. Because she's the one manipulating them. You know, and I have multiple sources that have basically, not even basically, that have confirmed this. You know, it's horrible. I keep going off on that, though. Going off on that tangent. Yeah, I got an ender pearl. Anyway. If anybody wants to try and debate me or argue with me, you know, by all means, my Discord is open and it's posted in the thingies.
Oh, yeah.
It's posted in the description of my videos. And now, why does that say Super Smash Bros. And not Minecraft? What?
I said it's right here. Come face us.
Yeah, I mean, fight me. 1v1 me, no scopes. 360 no scope only.
Fox only, Final Destination, no items.
No items, yeah. Sounds like I'm joking about this, but I can promise you I'm not. I have that much hate in my heart towards this person. Oh, I would full on go to the dark side just to see this person fall to my lightsaber. So by all means, if she wants to send any of her apprentices after me, go right ahead. Sorry, that was 2017 me coming out. 2020 Cole is back.
All of these Padawans. Oh.
Oh, whatever shall my lightsaber do? Zero. Master Anakin, what are you? You poor babies. You will all.
Live reenactment of Star Wars Episode 3?
It might as well be, because Jesus Christ, am I livid right now. Oh, crap. Is this... Okay, it is still recording, I think. Oh, well. I'm just so heckin' big irritated at this point. Mm-hmm. Anthony's adding me in the council room. I can't do it right now, Anthony. We are recording. The reason...
Axiom radio time.
The reason they aren't possible, that's a vague question. No, it's not. I'm going to assume you mean not possible for OCs and etc., in which case would be because of a canon creation, because you can't just simply come in contact with the Hogyoku, which is very true. Finally, she understands something. You know, it's almost like she understood it in the first place, but wanted to say her just being ignorant was being creative. Ho. Nukotta karinuka. Nigi no dio nichi kuru no ka. Zawardo!
the next line, which is why I bypass that, usually for OC creativity and creation.
It's not
creativity.
It's not okay. One of the biggest things ever is when people try and pass off just completely incorrect information on creativity. Mm-hmm. It's not creativity if it's just blatantly wrong. I'm sorry. But, like, there are rules and regulations to a series, you know? And just being completely incorrect about something doesn't make it right.
And finding a loophole isn't an effective alternative.
These aren't loopholes either.
Yeah.
Like, and I told her multiple times, I really did. I said, these aren't loopholes. I even asked her, I was like, who told you? Who taught you? Who raised you like this?
Who was your master?
I will spank them. Their booty holes will be mine.
Well, yeah.
Then I didn't respond because I was probably out with friends, and I don't like to be on my phone when I'm out with friends. Unless, you know, an emergency comes up that requires me to be on my phone.
Mhm.
These emergencies being with, you know, Axiom. But I talked... What the hell? Whew. Caught a chill. Back to the safe area. She messaged me probably because I was out with my friends and didn't respond for about an hour and a half or something like that. No, it was 2 a.m. when she responded. I was probably asleep. I'm looking at the timestamp. She said, I grabbed this to pretty much simplify all I was trying to say. I'll remake my OC via your guidelines and drop it in here if you don't mind. That way I can ensure I can get an agent approval. Caleb, you can read that picture. If you can't, I understand. I will post it.
Most visors are the result of Eisen's experimentation. However, if the hollow somehow fused with it... Did you say stop?
No, I said comma. Because you said however.
Oh, yeah. If a hollow somehow fused
Oh, no,
with
it's
the
however,
Shinigami,
period.
Yeah, I know. That which said however earlier too. Earlier in the chat, it was also however period.
Which is incorrect.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
Also the same as in the screenshot, which makes me want to think that she might have actually typed that message and had someone else take a screenshot
from
so that it could look like she was talking with someone else.
Oh, whoa.
Anyways, we're not trying to be conspiracy theorists here. They're the ones doing that.
Well, welcome to game theory.
If Hollow somehow fused with the Shinigami, and the Shinigami maintained themselves and regained control, if the Hollow was forced into submission in such a way that it became part of the Shinigami's soul, it could potentially rise again to take over, therefore needing to be trained so that the Shinigami in question become a mindless murder machine. Well, first of all, it doesn't happen through fusion. It never happened through fusion. It was simply breaking down the what's it called? The barrier between it opened up the Ryoryoku to become part hollow and part Shinigami or part soul.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen.
It was explained by Axon. I don't know. He was always like breaking down the barrier and whatnot.
It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't just happen. Like, you can't flat out be like, oh, I think I'll be a hollow now and become a hollow. That's...
Right. It includes the conceptual manipulation. So reality bends and they become hollow.
Yes. So I read over that back when she sent it to me. And I flat out told her. I said, the information is incorrect. Except I didn't scream. I just said, that information is incorrect. I'm not sure who the person is who told you that, but all visors were made through the Hogyoku and his Hogyoku. Or through Aizen and his Hogyoku. It's literally the only way that they can be made. And yes, I'd very much like to approve it personally. Just so I could tell her everything that was wrong with it. Naturally, she didn't take kindly to me saying this. I mean, obviously, you're getting told that your information is incorrect. You would be pissed.
Yeah.
You'd be...
You're definitely not wrong.
You'd be...
Just find
Yeah. So then she just keeps on talking about loopholes and shit, and I'm like, that's not how loopholes work. Like, loopholes aren't changing things completely. Loopholes are finding ways around the things you found. And I understand that you think that this is a way that you found around the creation of the Hagyakakakavizard. But it's not. Like, by any means. I want to know who told her this lie, you know? And if it was her, I want to know how she came to this conclusion. Because this is a very bad loophole.
Right.
It makes no logical sense. And I know there are people out there that are like, oh, it could be a part of an AU. Even by AU standards, there's no AU in Bleach, okay?
Right.
If there was, the only way I could see it being possible is through the, what was the first movie? Memories of Nobody.
Yeah.
Which is considered canon. But any type of canonicity that movie gives doesn't branch off from the already set in stone lore. You know?
Right.
And that's what I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand. Not that there's anything wrong with not understanding it. You know, there are a lot of things that even I myself don't understand. But as far as just blatantly ignoring these standards, something needs to go through your head that it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You want to have these things, but it's not possible. Please, I'm begging you, have some brain cells. Meanwhile, during this time, she's also starting arguments. Well, she's not starting them. One of her old subordinates, who is, I won't say how I know her, but I know her, and we've talked a lot about her, you know, taking mutual shits on her. And we basically found out that this person was taking pop shots at her, at Rebel, and like calling her out on all of her BS, which I could not have been happier with. I mean, finally somebody else does it. And she informed me about all the people that Rebel was manipulating. And how Rebel takes pride in a psychology class to help better manipulate people. Like, what kind of person is that, you know?
Haha, I'm manipulating you and I'm good at it. Haha.
Which, to my response to that was, I highly doubt she took psychology classes. She probably took one psychology class in high school and was like, oh, I'm the best at this.
That sounds like me.
God, I'm so aggravated right now. Like, I don't think I've ever had an episode of anything that I do where I'm just silent through just absolute rage. You know what? I'm gonna / game mode creative for the time being.
Alright. So after that, Cole goes, okay, I understand what you're trying to say. When I tell you there's literally no other way, it literally means there's no other way. That's not just me being an asshole about it or restricting any type anything. It's literally the only way. Any other way, especially the ones that person has told you, would result in the body being ripped to shreds from it out, or the hollow in question would simply cease to exist due to the soul Reiatsu overpowering them.
Mm-hmm.
We've literally seen this in the series. Whoever gave you this information straight lied to you. Do you get that? Basically, giving a whack to the face.
Yeah.
You know, trying to jar those brain cells, trying to shake them up.
And people, I'll say this as well. People could call us assholes for taking a mad dump on her, but like I can't bring myself to be kind to a person like this, you know? Impersonating police officers, taking pride in did I just see the stronghold? Taking pride in manipulating others, like that's not something you should be proud of, you know? In fact, it should be something you try and work against. I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me insane. But I can't bring myself to be nice to a person like that, you know? So read her response, Kababa.
Her response. No, I know it's not you just being an asshole. El Mayo, don't trip. Joke. What you see as impossibilities, I see as loopholes to forge and create.
Just keep
I'm
reading.
sorry, I
just
was
keep
reading
fucking
that,
reading.
and I was like, oh man, how am I supposed to take the piss on this end? And I read it, and it's so dumb that I have to, and I end up laughing. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I couldn't even read it with a straight face.
It's alright. I can't sit here with a straight face.
It's not an opportunity. Impossibility means impossibility. Opportunities present themselves with possibility. Impossibility is the opposite of possibility.
Did I say that, or are you saying that?
No, I'm saying this.
Okay.
You may have said it earlier, but I'm reiterating it. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm doing something. Differences in opinions is nothing major, which is why I ain't causing a fuss over changing OC to fit via your standards here. It's not really a huge deal. See, I feel like this is also part of her act, because she's like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm just, conforming to your standards. Your standard deal. It's like, no, it's not our standards. This is the lore of the series.
Right.
This is how the series works.
And I get, like, you wanna have your stuff. I do. I really do. Because there's a lot of things that I would love to have. But with, like, Omega, like, there's a complete overhaul of my OC right now due to the fact that I've been trying to rework it to fit better in the series, you know? Like, I can't just have things that I want when they're not a possibility, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I understand complete ratio manipulation is a thing, but at the same time, it's not called Omega, you know?
Right.
Anyway, Kant. Roll for Kant, son.
God. 13.
Continue.
Visors not being possible. OC canon reg reasons, which I assume she's meant regulation.
Yeah.
Is understandable for a community that is strictly lore based. So I'm not causing a fuss or anything. I'm changing it accordingly via your standards and all. As I said previously, there's no issue with it. The thing that makes me feel like it's part of her act was because she said it twice.
Yeah.
Her paragraph is saying one thing and then saying the same thing again.
She's not just ignorant. No, it's not even ignorance at this point. It's just blatant stupidity. Because ignorance is not knowing better. Stupidity is disregarding the correct
the facts.
Yes. Essentially. And she just keeps ignoring them no matter who says them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I can't get behind a person like that. I can't bring myself to take pity on somebody like that. I can't bring myself to just even trying to understand from their perspective, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I respond, that's not how loopholes work. Because at that point, I was freaking tired of explaining to her.
Yeah.
You know, understandably, too. I'm sure any sane-minded individual would be just done with her steez. I said, that's not how loopholes work, and it's not opinion when it's fact of the series. I said, plus it's not just by quote-unquote anyone's standards, it's the standard of the series itself. The point of an AU is only plausible if it makes sense in the original series unless stated otherwise. I've told you how the other options would work. You get that? Question mark? A visored can't work, period. Especially by the standards that this person has given you. They aren't loopholes. You get what I'm saying? And she just never responded.
And that was that.
And surprisingly, the Seirei only lasted about an hour. I am very happy with that.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I am completely and utterly aggravated at just
D&D time.
Oh yeah, no, it's D&D time. Like this episode's going on for an hour. We talked about it. If you guys want to hear us talk about some stuff that's other than the Seirei on Axiom Radio, please leave it in the comments section below. And if you guys would like us to cover anything other than Bleach, anything other than Bleach, because at this point I'm kind of
that's fair.
Like, we're trying hard, guys. You know, like I just I do this for the fun, and I like.
Should we talk about what we're doing? Like,
talk more in depth to it.
No. Just
what?
Mention the focus.
Okay,
like, because that could lead us to different topics.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is focus more on the Full Metal Alchemist aspect of things. This would lead us to be more active in the Full Metal community. We're trying to actively find someone who can take the spot on the council to not only be a part of the FMA community, but the council as well, to hopefully bring us closer on Seirei Talk and talk about things like that. Like I said before, if you guys would want to be a part of the council, all you've got to do is comment and leave your Discord or join the Discord linked in the description below. That's my personal Discord, or Discord server at least. I'd never be stupid enough to leave my personal Discord. Never mind. Like I'm some type of famous I make myself laugh. But
listen, we're the stars of Axiom Radio.
Oh yeah, because this is totally
famous.
Yeah, we totally are. Sure, me with 164 subscribers. So much better. But I kind of want to go play some Dungeons and Dragons Bleach Edition, which will probably be going up on the channel before this episode of Axiom Radio, just because I haven't uploaded in a long time and I really like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. So
yep, fair, sir.
I will catch you in the next episode, pals. I love you. Sweet dreams. Go get 'em, Tiger.